Hi, Susan here from itsmysustainablelife.com. I am just preparing some milk jugs for winter sowing and just starting to get them ready. So I'm going to be doing 3 jugs here for my summer onions and my storage onions to get those started. And I'm going to let Mother Nature do its job outside. So you want to remove any labels as best as you can. Obviously, I'm not extremely picky about it. I just pulled it off as best I can. Some of them pull off better than others. You can see that one's just got a little bit left on it. So I'm not going to need the caps, so I'm going to remove the caps and I can discard those. But you're going to want to make sure that they're pretty clean inside. So if milk came in these, you're going to want to use some pretty hot water along with some soap to really kind of sterilize them a little bit and get them really clean. These just had distilled water in it. So I'm just using hot water. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just get some in there and swish it around as best I can just to remove any debris or anything that might be in there. I'm going to go ahead and drain it and I'm going to put them upside down so that they're really nice and dry. Shut that off. Really nice and dry before I go ahead and cut them up. So I found it helpful before I go ahead and cut with a box cutter around the base where I want of the milk jug. You want to leave a good 4 inches at the bottom. That'll support the soil and allow for really good root growth of your seedlings. So the first jug I cut is a little bit wonky because I didn't make these all the way around. So I just made 4-inch tick marks on each side of the milk jug as you go around so that you can stay a little bit more even than what I did with the first jug. And all I'm going to do is just take the box cutter and I'm going to go around as best I can, or a sharp pair of scissors would work. Go around as best I can. I want to leave just the base of the handle portion as a hinge. I want to leave that. I don't want to cut through it. Okay, so I'm going to get to cutting. So to moisten the soil, you want to just do it slowly, and it's almost like just stirring cake batter. You want to mix it all in so that it starts to pre-moisten, adding a little bit of water at a time. Patience is a virtue here. So you just keep mixing and adding a little bit of water at a time until you can pick up a good clump of soil and give it a good squeeze and it holds its form. When it's still powdery or it's still really loose, then you know it doesn't have enough moisture. You don't want to be able to squeeze any water out. You don't want it too wet. So now it's a matter of taking the prepared or cut jugs and just filling them with a good 4 inches of soil, of that pre-moistened soil that you've done. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. You don't want to pack it down hard. You want to keep it nice and loose. And just fill it out to that, right up to the edge, like what I've done with this one here. And then we'll go ahead and sow the seeds. So to sow the seeds, here I've got some Walla Walla Spanish onions, which are summer onions in my neck of the woods here. You just want to evenly sprinkle these all around. So I'm going to do them quite densely because these are my summer onions and I really want, I'm going to be transplanting them directly into the ground so I can really plant them quite densely in here. I will separate out though that root system on the other end before I transplant them in, and I'll go ahead and try to give you a video of how I do that. But once I've laid all the seed down, I'm going to sprinkle it with topsoil and just pat it down gently. Once I've created a really good seal of duct tape around the opening that I cut out all the way around, I went ahead and I used a painter pen and I went ahead and marked what I obviously have winter sown in the container. You may think you will remember. Trust me, you won't, especially when you're doing multiples. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this not only on the side, but I'm also going to do it on painter's tape, and I'm going to put it on the bottom just in case this somehow washes out or gets bleached out in the sun so that I don't lose my labeling. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to sow these other winter containers and we will go ahead and set them outside. So setting them outside for my gardening zone, which is gardening zone 5B, we get pretty intense weather. So I want it to be south facing, southwest facing, which for me is pretty much, this is south, southwest is over here. So I'm gonna get some really good sun exposure during the coldest part of the season, which is what I want. Come spring, I will have to go ahead and keep an eye on these to make sure that they don't overheat, because we get some pretty intense sun here on the hill during those months. This is sheltered from excessive wind. It will get rain, so I don't want to put those jugs underneath, say, an overhang like my garage here, because then they wouldn't get the proper moisture that they need. So it'll be interesting. I can't wait to see them kind of sprout, let Mother Nature do its thing, and I hope you can go ahead and give it a try with me. Thanks for joining me here at itsmysustainablelife.com. Be sure to subscribe below and always ring that little bell if you like this video.